Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome. I am just another Pokédad, and if you know where I stole my intro from, you're my kind of geek, and I say geek lovingly. I'm back from Philadelphia, the Oaks, Pennsylvania regionals. My son, Dash Gamer Boy Genius, and I went. It was a lot of fun. Um, and I wanted to show the deck I played and kind of go over a few things with it. I did play a Rayquaza deck. Um, am I happy with the deck? I am. Am I happy with how I played? For the most part. And would I make some changes? Absolutely. I finished with the record of 4 wins and 5 losses. I finished 290, no, 398th. I wish I finished 200. 398th out of 811 masters. So very solid middle of the pack experience. And I could have done better. I had a few misplays. I took several rounds to game 3. And feel like I could have won a couple of the rounds. I made a few errors mentally. These things happen. It's a long experience, and the top notch players are able to play through a lot of that. And I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it. I had a really good time. All my opponents played really well. There was no rough play, no animosity in play, no. I felt really good about how I played and how my opponents played, and I hope they've had a similar experience. So I'm going to go over the deck. I did play a Rayquaza deck. I knew that Buzz Garb was going to be big, and Shrine decks were going to be big. So I built my list with that in mind, and I'm going to go over it here with you. I played 2 copies of Shining Lugia. Again, the Buzz matchup, this is great. You're resistant to fighting. It's a little tough because you're weak to lightning, and Cocos were abound. But Argent Wing, for 3 colorless, you do 60 plus another 60 if they have an ability, which is a solid attack. I mean, being able to do 120 most of the time is a solid attack. But then Arrow Force for an additional energy, you're doing 130, which is a good number, and you have to discard an energy, which in this deck is not that big a deal. But again, I went with Shining Lugia. Some people were playing the Delmise, the Celestial Storm Delmise. Both, I think, are solid, valid choices, but I would go with Lugia, and I'll show you the reasoning. I then played 2 copies of Rayquaza. This is where I would have made a change. I should have gone with 3, but I decided to do a split and only play 2 Rayquaza. I feel like it slowed my deck down just a tick to only have 2. Then I played a 3-3 line. Oops, sorry. I'm not trying to change it, just trying to show it. 3-3 line of Grubbin and Vikavolt. And the Vikavolt, strong charge, search your deck for lightning and grass energy, put them on your Pokemon any way you want. Good synergy with Rayquaza and with Tapu Bulu. And I played 2 Bulus. I probably should have gone 3 Rayquaza, 1 Bulu. But Weavile scared me just enough that I wanted to have a couple non ability based attackers. And I thought between 2 Bulus and 2 Shining Lugias, I could get out 1 Vikavolt and power it up and take care of a Weavile deck. In round 1, I happened to come up against a Zorok Weavile deck. We played it out to game 3, and in game 3, I had to do everything that I did not want to do in the match. I didn't want to play Rayquazas. I had to. I didn't want to use Rayquaza's GX move because Zorok Dex plays Judge. I had to. I had to bench 3 abilities, which I don't want to do against Weavile. I only want 1 or 2 at the most. Everything I was forced into doing because my draw was rough, made for it that I was just never going to win game 3. I just had to make bad decision after bad decision. We played game 1, game 2 were, back and forth. We did pretty well, but game 3, there was no way I dug my own hole in that one. So I also play 2 copies of Tapu for Wonder Tag, grab whatever you need. We're running 2 copies of Energy Recycler, where you shuffle 5 basic energy from your discard into your deck. Really important in this deck to have 2 of those, and possibly could have used another, but I think 2 is a solid number. I used 2 Field Blower. That was, again, 1 for Shrines of Punishment. That was really mainly the reasoning behind Field Blowers, or Shrine of Punishment, which I ran into none of. What are you going to do? Okay, 3 copies of Mysterious Treasure, so you can search out your Lele's and your Rayquaza. Only 3 because I was only running 2 Rayquazas. If I had been running 3 Rayquazas and 2 Lele's, I would have run 4 Mysterious Treasure. 3 rare candies. You have to evolve for Vikavolt. I probably should have run 4. 2 copies of Rescue Stretcher, 4 copies of Ultra Ball, and then 2 copies of Sky Pillar. And this was, again, my tech for the Shrine Coco decks. And again, I run it into none of them. But then again, I was middle of the pack. They might have been doing better than me for the most part. So I did happen to run up against 4 Rayquaza Bulu decks throughout the day. So, what are you going to do? 4 copies of Cynthia, a very good, always draw supporter. 3 copies of Guzma, 2 copies of Lily. Lily is a great draw support for first turn if that's the way you go. I did run 1 copy of Steven's Resolve. This was basically, if I went first and I could get Steven's Resolve and I had a Grubbin out, I did. Because then you grab Rare Candy, you grab Vikavolt, and you grab a draw supporter if you don't already have one, and you're off to the races on the next turn. Then ran 2 copies of Volkner. Again, search out your Rare Candy, grab a Lightning Energy. Great card in this deck. I ran 2 copies of Choice Band, and then 14 energy. 7 grass, 7 lightning. Changes, yes. I would have taken out the Skyfields. I probably might even have dropped 1 of the Field Blowers and 1 of the Rescue Stretchers, and just gone with the things that were missing in this deck. I needed to switch. Either Tate and Liza or just switch to get back and forth. I needed a couple times. I got a little stuck, and I needed a switch. And I because I ran, it's easy in hindsight, I ran into no shrine decks, so I was teched out against something I didn't face. And I don't feel like I was over-teched. My techs work against a lot of things. The Sky Pillars came in handy, just to get rid of other stadiums that people were playing. The Field Blowers, obviously, you get rid of choice bands or whatever. So they're not bad choices. But I feel like I might have been a little more solid with switches and dropping a Bulu for a Rayquaza, um, and maybe even a third Shining Lugia. I don't know. I like the one Bulu though because I actually like Bulu's GX move came in much more handy than Rayquaza's. I only used Rayquaza's twice during the tournament, and both times I got judged afterwards. And that was, I knew what would happen. Um, so I was very hesitant about using Tempest GX because of the proliferation of Judge right now. You have to be very aware of it. So that's the deck. I'm going to play it in a couple battles here on PTCGO just to show how it goes. And this is the deck that I played in the Oaks, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia regionals this past weekend. All right, so we'll see you back here shortly. We're going to run up against a couple games in duels. All right, we're here for our first in our pair of duels. I missed what I'm playing up against, but this was a fairly typical start for this deck this weekend. Was a Bulu and a Grubbin. This is a good opening hand. I liked starting Bulu, one, because you want to be able to use Rayquaza Stormy Winds when you get it, but also because if you're coming up against a deck that was like this, Buzzgarb, this is a good way because I'm going to try and play around Rayquazas in this deck. So what I want to do, I want to be cautious about my, but I'm going first, so I want to get a Stevens Resolve. So what you have to do when you're playing against the Buzzgarb is be aware of how many items you play and try and forget your Rayquaza deck until late game at the most. So here we go. We're going to Stevens Resolve since we're also going to attach there for turn. Since we have the draw support in hand, what we're going to do is we're going to get for next turn a grass energy. And that way, provided we keep our hand and don't get judged, which is a very real possibility because we'll be able to, but if we keep it all, then we'll be able to attach and then Vikavolt double attach. So since we are keeping our hand, that's good news for us. And as you see, I mean, they're gonna build up this Garb line. The things you want to do in this matchup, one, you want to keep, you want to use Lugias if you can, and we're not worried about Deancey, which is nice. And then just be aware of when you're at the prize count with Buzz wall to. So we're going to attach for turn. There. We are going to first, since we know we're putting the energy on, we want to grab it first in case if we Cynthia and hit, all energy or something redonk like that. All right, so we'll get rid of the shrine and that. So kind of nice. We don't really need anything else out right now. And so I am going to use my GX just to heal the 70 damage. And I feel like we've got a strong, because, you know, we've only played now the three items, so we're okay. We're not in any danger right now, really, from a Garbodor. We'll be in more danger once we take another knockout from the next turn Buzzwole. So I think what I'm going to do is put down another Bulu, even though I would rather have a Lugia. If I draw a Lugia, that'll be ideal. But we'll see. Little shrine damage is okay. It's not too harmful. So again, we'll strong charge onto the bench. Bulu. And I'm going to just Cynthia. Not going to play Rayquaza because I don't want to Stormy Winds. Now, I think what I'll do, is be an idiot. I didn't want to put more, I really didn't want to put more items in the discard. That was foolish. I had no reason to do it, and I didn't want to do it. But I'm putting out the Lugia just to be ahead, and now, so we don't need to discard to get this knockout, so that's all right. And now we're, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we're at 100 damage. That was just foolish. So we can't play more items. Really have to be much more cautious in that regard. Now we're at the I think he'll take a knockout on this turn with this Buzzwole. And I'm going to have to get rid of energy. I think what I may do is, after he knocks this out, is move Lele up because I can retreat. Just in case I draw an energy, then I'd want to... Nope, never mind, because no abilities. So really, I'm going to have to use... this Tapu Bulu no matter what. And then at some point, we're going to have to do... All right, so we still have both our energy recyclers, so that's going to be important. All right, so because we have to knock this out. That's not the ideal draw. We need the grass energy as our next draw, or we need need to start. We've got, we're solid, but I mean, at some point, I probably have to get rid of the shrine, and it's gonna put us up higher with items. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could probably do one more. So don't think he has the knockout on this one. So even though with weakness, so I think what I want to do, because I only have that, I'm gonna have to Guzma out of this. Yep. And I'm going to have to field blower the who do I take out? I take out Deancy. Yeah. And then I'm going to have to take out the shrine, and even though I didn't want to add more, I think that puts us at 6 now, 7. So that's all we can do, because that's going to take knockouts if he Guzma's up any of my wounded here. So my only hope is to keep this Lugia, but if he gets, I think I've got 7 items, so he's got the knockout there. So we're in. This is where we kind of get into trouble in this matchup, for sure. But I made the error. It was, but now he's. Excuse me. So he's definitely got me. That's all right, because at the moment I've got no energy to, and it puts him in an odd prize trait here. So he's going to have to take 2 more knockouts no matter what. So I don't think that hurts me as much. And we just do that. So we're doing okay. Withdrawing energy will be really okay. We did not, but we got some draw support, which helps. Because if he's got me, yep. So he's got that. So that's going to be game. I don't think I'm going to be able to come back from this one without a Vikavolt out. So, because he's going to take the knockout on the Lugia here, and then he's going to knock out next turn. So, we did our best, but I don't think there's anything I can do, because I have to do 60 there, and so the only chance is I draw a Guzma and an energy, which I can't do, but so we're going to recycle energy. past the point of no return on energy. So let's see what kind of miracle we could come up with. None, I don't think. So, right. So I think that's it. There's really nothing we can do because I think we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So well played. We are done. So there's nothing we could do there. I would have liked to have been more focused on the Lugia, but again, this is the deck that won the tournament. Finished 398th. So we did a solid match against it. If I were able to, I would have held back and not made a couple of my errors there in playing the Ultra Balls when I didn't need to, etc., etc. Anyway, so that's round one. We'll come back and play another game. All right, we are here for our second of our dual. We'll see if we can play out a little better, but tough matchup in that Garb Shrine. Not sure what we're playing here, so we're going to start the Shining Lugia. And if we're against a Shrine deck, we'll be in good spot, though we have nothing else. And I don't know. It's just an I don't know. Isn't that spiffy? So I'm going to go with that. And I think we're just going to have to Cynthia and hope that we get something. And we don't. We get Squat. So we're Squadooshing. Would have liked to have attached on that turn. Yeah. So I think they might be playing the Lugia Shrine Malamar deck. So let's see. They're going to probably get out much faster because we had a no grubbing start. So all right. Let's just Cynthia again. All right. Well, at least we're at this spot. As long as they don't take a knockout on the Grubbin next turn, we can Volkner for rare candy, and we'll hit and just start taking knockouts with Lugia and try and get another Lugia out at some point. They're going to probably start hitting a few Malamars, I would guess. And now here's their Lugia. So we want to be getting a little ahead here if we can. If we can. That would be great. They haven't hit a Malamar yet, which is fortunate for us. So let's see. What do they got? They do have energy in the discard, so you gotta hope against hope that they, yep, have to pass. So we're gonna do all right here. And get the rare candy. We get the energy. We will get our Vikavolt out. Get our first special charge up. And we can take our first knockout here. All right, so we're starting the roll. Trouble is, they also have Lugia. But because they don't have the energy yet, we're a little bit ahead. And I can... maybe I'll play the Rayquaza, even though I'm not quite sure in this matchup how it goes. But I think I play the Rayquaza down, start getting energy, so that way I can knock out the Lugia. I just start piling energy on wherever I can on the board. Because I have a couple field blowers, I do have one more sky field available. So, but now he's got 2 Malamars out, so he's going to be able to start rolling energy here. So we'll see how this plays out. This is a tough matchup for us. So again, not quite as tough as we. So I'm going to do this because we're not worried about the discard. So we're going to start piling on some energy. So what we can do, I think I'm going to take out the Lugia. Is my play right now. Take out a strong attacker. And just start taking them apart little by little if we can. He's gonna have the Lele. The spread damage Lele, I'm pretty sure, will be what he tries to clean up with. So, fortunately, he'll counter catcher, and we'll be able to get out of that. And I think we have to take out the Tapu. So, or nope, we take out the Lele. That's where we've got to take out before the damage gets out of control. So we'll have to get our own Lele for a Guzma and to get out of the active. See, and this is where those, having a switch would be handy. But the spread damage is going to be getting out of hand very quickly. So we're going to, don't need that. Make sure we have Guzma, we do. Take out that little Lele. And so we have to do 110. We'll go in with our Lugia. And we will strong charge. All right, so we're doing all right here. We've got spread damage. And all right, so we've got spread damage. Yeah, and that's going to be trouble if we can't get rid of the shrine. Quite literally, he's going to take out 1, 2, and take 4 prize cards like right now. So let's see if we don't get rid of this Shrine of Punishment right now. So let's recycle some energy and hope that we hit a Field Blower or a Sky Pillar. Neither, huh? That is rough. That's going to be rough. So we're going to retreat because we're going to lose. Let's get him back out. And we'll take him down. We will be losing the Rayquaza, but hopefully that puts us in a position to be able to take our last prize. And I don't think he's going to be able to take. Well, he can if he gets the Lele out. If he gets the Lele, there's nothing we can do about that. So we'll see how it goes. Lele counter energy, but he doesn't. So I think that wins us the game. He's going to take 1 prize there. We'll go to 150. The only thing he can do is if he can Guzma, he could take 4 prizes, I think. If he Guzmas and has a yeah, but we got it. So very fortunate, very fortunate. We'll just take the victory. So as you can see, it has its merits. There were some things in the build I would have liked to have changed, but all in all, I was happy with how I played and how things went, and looking forward to the next one. If you have any comments, I would love to hear them. Thanks for watching. Remember to be happy, be safe, and be kind. Thanks for watching.